Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Cemetery Beach, issue number 3 by Image Comics and Warren Ellis and Jason Howard. Yes, this is the 20-page comic that is way overpriced because, well, it has only 20 pages and I really don't like that. Moving on from that, because I'm repeating myself a lot when it comes to this comic, because I hate it. I really hate it. I mean, it's $3.99. Okay, I'm going a little bit on a rant. So 20 pages. Why not make it 24? 25. So for me, too expensive. Pick this up in cheap, or in a floppy, or trade paperback, also cheap. Do whatever you want, but don't pay full price for this. It's not worth it, in my opinion. So let's dive in. So Grace is throwing a grenade, and this soldier says, "Throw yourself onto it." And he says, "You throw yourself onto it." And well, they all die, and all hell breaks loose because there is a chain reaction. The sewers, if you can call it that, burst open. The how do you say? Parts of the town is falling. I'm gonna show you. I mean, look at this. And I don't want to show you too much, but I have to show you this. And then they run for their lives. They barely escape, but they are not there yet. So more stuff is coming out, and they are, as you can see, the whole building blows up. I don't know how they survived it. It's just nuts. So this comic in general is continuously throwing these action set pieces towards the reader, which is absolutely great. But when it comes to the characters, they always, so far, come out unscathed. They are just, this looks like an action movie, from mostly the 80s of the 90s, that people are jumping out of the buildings or through the glass, and there is just barely a scratch on them. That's how this feels. Which is cool, I guess. But sometimes I think, okay, maybe we should raise the stakes a little bit when it comes to these characters. So, and there are some quips and humors in here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It's more like, let's say Mike. Mike is a character that I have trouble relating to. Sometimes he's a cool character, and sometimes I think, man, you're a bastard. Not only about what he's saying, but also it seems that he just doesn't care. But there's a reason for that, and I'm going to explain that a little bit later. So, moving on. They are not out of the wood yet because these creatures are attacking them instantly. And it seems that Grace says this is the outer family. So basically, this is the original crew that came to this planet years ago. Gonna take a sip of the water. Just give me a sec. And I don't have any water anymore. Cool. And then hell breaks out, and they're gonna battle them. And Mike jumps onto these creatures, and the visual effects looks really great. And he says, "What the hell are you? Or what the hell happened to you?" He says, "I feel great." I'm not sure if this is a man or a woman, but I guess it's a woman. I guess. They have weaknesses, but they are very strong and fast. And I'm astounded that, I spoke that in the last issue, that they only have a pistol, but they all do headshots. I don't know how they can get it. It's just a little bit too unrealistic to me. Although this is a fantasy comic and nothing is realistic, but they only have a pistol, seemingly with unlimited ammo, and they're all doing headshots, which is crazy. But then the action ramps up, so he gets a kick in the chest. Other people are coming, other soldiers. This creature jumps on it, misses. He flees out of it, and then he, I don't know what's going on, but he's getting his axe kicked, and then he shoots and blows the face off. Blows his brains out, or its brains out. And my God, this action here is going to 100%, 110%. One page after the other, something crazy is happening, and I just love it. But sometimes, and that's going to happen. Sometimes, okay, now take a breather. Let's rein it a little bit back, and have the story continue. But when I saw this, I was on the. I'm not gonna lie, I was on the edge of my seat because this action looks so freaking cool, and that's why I just love Jason Howard's work. It's not for everyone, like I said, it looks a little bit cartoony, but I love the kinetic energy that is flowing and jumping off these pages. I mean, it reminds me, well, for instance, when you see sometimes a Batman comic or a Marvel comic, and they are just there's an action splash page when two characters battling each other. Sometimes these characters just stand still and they supposedly hitting each other, but it feels like just a how do you say, static image. That's not the case in here. I mean, everything flows, everything is moving, as you can see here. With all the action, this creature gets shots in the face, but also leans a little bit towards the side of the impact. Here as well, it gets shot in the head, and then the scream of the creature. Well, Mike is battling the other one. It's just great stuff. And also, like I said, the creature jumps up and he misses. I mean, the pacing and the layouts of this of the art of the panels, just fantastic. I really love it. But so Grace is jumping into the air like Spider-Man, and I'm sorry for showing you a lot. I mean, probably everything. It does a crazy dive, and again, with one shot, kills everyone. It's just crazy. And so basically, these two escaping, and Mike says, "Is it Mike? Yeah, Mike. Mike Blackburn. Yeah." Mike says, "How do these apparatus, these flying things, how do they work?" So Grace says, with seep and hard rocks. And Mike says, I know what seep is, but what are the hard rocks? It seems that they are just glowing rocks that you can find everywhere. And they use it to power these machines. But, growing is the hardest thing because mostly they grow things from the toilet waste, from their, human waste they put out, and then they grow stuff. And but powering the machines is supposed to be very, very easy. And Mike is a little bit wondered by that, and he says, "Okay, skipping a few pages I want to see. Well, it doesn't matter. I basically show you everything, right?" So Mike was wondering how why nobody's thought of exporting these rocks back to Earth for decades, and then Grace says, "Well, and you think the president would want old home, which is Earth?" To see how he runs things here. He's the president since 1935. And Mike cannot believe it. And I said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Nobody is that old and still alive, and supposedly, and be president." But it seems that Grace explains they found 67 years ago some kind of a pool of wet fungus, and somebody accidentally fell into that, and that person is healed, but it's been infested with mushroom tissue, cancer cells, and germs, but they do not die. They cannot regrow organs, but everything else gets stronger and livelier and tougher. And Mike is like a kid in the he's being amazed. He's never heard of seen anything like that. Well, of course, but he's coming from Earth. And then the last panel. Again, don't want to show everything, but basically I did. So with this issue, it doesn't matter. So Grace is talking about herself, and also why talks about Mike. Said, "Hey, I'm gonna." Said, "What is it? What we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the march, into the drum, across the march, into the cemetery beach, and then to your landing zone, and then she's gonna to Earth and tell everybody about it, what's happening on this exoplanet." And Grace says, "Well, you can go back to your loved ones." But then Mike says, "Well, I don't have any family, and what I'm doing is, I'm good in what I'm doing, so nobody's going to miss me when I die here. That's why I'm doing all these missions," because he explains that his died of HIV. Mom was killed in a bomb in a marathon in Boston. Sister died in a mass shooting at school. And his relationship also ended because his girlfriend killed herself with pills. So that is a very depressing ending. of this very action-packed comic. Yeah, so again, I love it. There's some layers here. It explains Mike's behavior, but I'm not on board with that because his behavior is very frantic, chaotic. He's being cute and nice, but at the same time, he is also very narcissistic and a lot of sarcasm, maybe hiding the pain that he's carrying with him. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I think. The humor is a hit and miss. Again, 20 pages, it sucks. So it's a good comic, but it needs more pages. At least more pages. Yeah. The rest, well, we find out in issue 4. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked the video. Give me a comment, like my video, share my video, retweet my video, subscribe to my channel. See you next time.